Hello everyone. So today I was looking at this question on the community. Now this question is about creating an issue in Jira from an external system, basically creating an issue remotely by using this URL, which is nothing but the URL of your Jira server. Not really cloud, I don't think it will work on cloud, but your Jira server URL. And if you pass in the URL of your Jira server, pass in project ID or issue type or summary, basically the mandatory fields, then what happens in this particular method is that you will see the form, the issue creation form, filled in with these values. Now this is something that will probably work for those cases where you want to maybe make it easier for the user to raise tickets or issues with some pre-filled summary or text. For example, maybe you can generate this link and maybe you can post it somewhere on your intranet that click here to raise this particular request. So it will basically save time, but they still have to click on the create button to actually create the issue. And that is what this user is trying to understand and trying to do. Basically, the problem here is that this user is saying that the form is getting populated with the fields, mandatory fields, summary and issue type and project, but the issue is not getting created. So I don't really think the issue will be created. It will basically show you the form. But what you can do is if you want to actually create an issue from external system, the proper way of doing it is using a REST API. That is how you should do it. And creating an issue using REST API is actually not at all complicated. What you can do is you can take a look at, in case you want to learn REST API, Jira REST API, I recommend you to take a look at my courses, my Jira REST API course, especially this particular course where I have shown in different videos how to do various things like creating an issue, updating an issue, adding a comment. So for example, if you click here, create issue using shell script, and if you look at the script, I do have basically whenever I do something, I share things. For example, if you look at this particular script, I'm basically just creating an issue with some template, or not really a template, but basically it is in a way template. Basically, it is a JSON, a valid JSON. And when you basically pass this or create or run the script, it will create an issue for you. So maybe I can show you right now. So let us try if I can do it very quickly. So what I will do is I will go inside my Jira shell scripts, and create issue, and I believe this particular script already has some parameters, so I don't really think it created the issue, but the script is actually, if you look at the script, I believe maybe the so if you look at the script, the main thing that we are doing here is this one, basically this part here, where we are trying to use this endpoint called REST API 3 issue, and we have to pass in the JSON. So this is something that, and by the way, of course, you have to pass in the issue type ID or project ID and whatever, So this is something that you can do very easily from any system. It depends how you're doing it. I'm just showing you this example of a shell script, but the idea here is to do it using REST API, Jira REST API. And if you want to do it from an external system, then you have to rely on REST API, especially if you're doing something on cloud. Even on server, you do have, of course, your REST API. And whenever you're doing something on the server, you can definitely use a script runner where you can write a script to interact with Jira using Java API. But whenever we are talking about doing something from external system, then REST API is probably the best way of doing it. And what I will do, I'll probably run maybe one more script. Maybe the token is invalid because it has been a while since I did something. So let us try to run get project list, because why not? Get project list.sh. Okay, so the token is working. So maybe the project ID was wrong. So this is basically the list of all my projects. And when you have these, for example, right now, if I have to interact with my Jira instance, I can do that very easily using my own scripts that I always have on my server or on my local computer. But the idea here is to do it using APIs, REST API. Not really. This method is probably fine for those cases where you want to make it easier for the end user to just click on a link and have some fields pre-populated, but they have to still click on the link. And in my opinion, I mean, not my opinion, but based on this particular question, I think this user is trying to also create the issue programmatically from an external system. So you have to basically do it using scripting method. Or maybe you can also take a look at automation and use webhooks. That is also one more way of doing it. But that is on the cloud, unless you're using maybe script runner, because using script runner you can also create your own webhooks. Or not really. You can actually create a REST endpoint. I believe that will be a valid thing to do. That will be a proper way of doing it. But again, you don't have to, because you can directly call Jira's own REST API. So that is it. That is all I wanted to talk about in this video. I just wanted to give you some ideas. And that is it. Bye bye.